Hello, Shadowcat back with Humble April. Yes, new month, and I'm a day later than I wanted to be, but regardless, here we are. Last month we had Mass Effect, and oh my god, that was amazing. That was so very much worth the wait. And all the effort I went through to avoid spoilers and stuff, that was fantastic. But it's over now. Unfortunately, we can't lament the loss of that game. But we have a new game. So I went through the options we had, and the options were not great. I've seen better months. However, when I looked through my options, I said, well, I could play the obvious one, which would have been Destroy All Humans, because that's a popular game. People have played that, people like it. But you know what? It's been done. It's been done a whole bunch. Then there was Ghost Runner. And I'll be honest with you, I am blind as a bat. And the idea of having to run and jump and parkour and do all of that in first person, I wasn't sure if I could do that. Still, looked like a fun game, just not for me. There were a lot of team battlers as well, but unfortunately, I fly solo on this one, so I can't really do those. And that leaves this. Chicken Police. Paint it red. It's supposed to be some kind of noir detective story where we're going to be chickens. And police. And presumably something will be red. I don't know. But it's set back in a film noir kind of period. We're going to be detectives. We're going to be solving mysteries. That's about all I know. I haven't even seen if it works yet or not. So we're going to find out together. Let's go.
I ran out to get a pack of cigarettes, but I left my wallet at home. Yeah, that's me. I'm getting old. My name is Sonny Featherland, an investigator for 20 years, and once the star of the Predatory Division of the Clawville Police Department, one half of the legendary Chicken Police. But buying a pack of smokes is more than I can handle right now. Maybe I should just lay low. Yeah, I'll do that. The most colorful place in the wilderness. For all the gods, what bullshit. The last clucking color left this city years ago. And slowly I'll turn gray too. Still, what do I expect? We're living in a vast experiment, and don't even notice that everything got clucked up a long time ago. We believe in this wonderland of peaceful coexistence. Wolves and sheep, chickens and hounds. Yeah, sure, why not? It's just ridiculous. The dog eats the chicken. It's in our nature. I'm not propping up the illusion anymore. 121 days, and it's over. Retirement. What could possibly go wrong?
Oh, famous last words.
Ah, crap. My office lock is a piece of shit if a dame can pick it. She stood in the darkness. The light painted stripes on her body. It whispered secret little things that were never there in the first place. But she was no zebra. Reality was just a light switch away. Elizabeth or Charlotte? I was sure she'd have a sophisticated-sounding name. She had a bygone look in her eyes, older than this ancient building, and perhaps the whole city itself. Or maybe I'm just drunk. But she was the first womanly thing in my place for a long time, so I had to give her a chance.
Okay. Wow, I'd forgotten what this was like. So, I'm not a huge film noir person. I didn't watch a whole lot of movies set in that time period and read a whole lot of books, but I'm familiar with the style. It's all a lot of inner monologues and very, very descriptive. The kind of thing that, writing stories for Dungeons and Dragons that I would aspire to, but I was never able to quite reach those heights. Still, it is a great way to set the atmosphere. And so this is my office? No. Apartment? That's a bedroom. No one has a bedroom in your office. Okay, so, you can see what kind of game this is. This is a point and click kind of thing. Alright, let's explore.
I wanted to travel the world when I was a kid, but I think I'm gonna end up dead in here whether I like it or not.
Okay. Hopefully I don't have to do a lot of pixel hunting. Pictures?
The Wild Gentlemen. Those guys rebuilt the city after the Great Fire of 867. My heroes when I was a little chick. I'm starting to think they should have left Clawville as it was, burned to the ground.
So dark.
This is one of the most beautiful memories from my old life, before Molly left me and took our daughter.
I want to make a dark and brooding joke, but I'm a chicken. Seems a little on the nose.
The good things in life don't last long. The best ones always leave first. I saw that in the window of a shoe store. I never understood it, or what it had to do with shoes.
I don't think it has anything to do with shoes. M.B. Davis.
M.B. Davis, the eternal king of jazz. The photo is from the days of jazz prohibition. I only heard the old man live one time, but I'll never forget that night. And not only because I woke up at the harbor without my gun, my badge, and my pants.
That's the thing about the noir setting. I mean, it's all dark, it's very gritty, but there's always levity in it. It's the weirdest kind of dissonance that you can have, but it's like two notes that are off by just enough that you notice them, but you can't help but listen to it.
We used to be star cops a few years ago. Tabloid press, radio interviews, and even a book series. I don't miss those days. Of course, Marty, my old partner, would disagree. He just loved the spotlight.
Fair enough. Okay. So, we looked at the pictures. I don't want to turn on the lights yet. Cabinet?
I don't even know where the key is. Whatever's inside is gonna stay there forever.
Really? Or will it? That could be important later on.
I promised myself I'd write a novel one day.
Oh, don't we all? Well, there's my gun and my badge.
She doesn't seem so dangerous that I need to grab my gun, but you never know.
We're gonna take that. Badge.
My wallet and my badge. The wallet is real. The badge ain't. Chief Bloodboil took mine, so I got this one out of a pack of cornflakes, just in case.
And the last cigarette, because of course you have to have one.
My last cigarette. You're lucky I don't have a light, pal.
Okay, we're done with the drawer. Is there anything else? Papers?
I don't even know what these papers are.
This is our... Isn't it? This is our office slash apartment? I don't know. Place? Thing? Phone. Yeah, definitely don't have a use for that yet, but I'm sure that we will. Books?
Books I'm never gonna read. Maybe nobody ever has.
Aw, that's sad for the books. The city?
I don't see colors anymore. Only emptiness. Everything faded. I need another drink.
Okay, I think that's everything in here. Except for maybe this. Did we look at this?
Maybe in another lifetime, old bird.
Okay. Bedroom door. We may get to that later. Alright. Who are you? Ooh, options. Look.
Who is this dame, anyway? And what the cluck is she doing in my apartment on New Year's Eve?
Okay.
Let me introduce myself. My name is Deborah, Miss Deborah Ibanez.
Really? Well, wasn't Elizabeth.
You're mistaken, ma'am.
Oh, really? Please enlighten me, Mr. Featherland.
I'm not a private eye. I'd recommend Mr. Philmar Lowe instead of me. He's a nice guy.
I can be a nice guy too.
Believe me, Mr. Featherland, it's not an accident I came to you.
Look, miss, I work for the police, and I'm currently on leave. I couldn't accept private commissions even if I wanted to. Not even from a classy dame like you.
Am I that easy to read?
That's my job. But tell me, since you've invited yourself in, would you like a drink?
Ooh, smooth.
I don't usually drink.
Well, I've got to have one. And it'd be rude of me to drink alone. So, maybe some sherry?
If you insist. But bourbon, please.
Ah, thank the wild ones. That's all I have.
What a coincidence.
So come on, spill it from the beginning.
Okay, what are we doing here? Wait, that was it? Oh, cheap whiskey.
Every whiskey has the same color nowadays. At least in this price range.
Oh, how depressing. Okay, so what are we doing here? What are we doing?
That's better. Now, if I understand correctly, your mistress is receiving threats. What kind of threats, exactly?
The threatening kind, obviously.
It's a very strange matter. First, there were letters. Then it came printed on a wine bottle's label, sent as a gift. Then carved into a brick, thrown through the window. And finally, they painted it on the wall of the house in giant red letters.
I think it's time to dig a little deeper. If you don't mind, I'd like to ask you some routine questions.
Okay, time to get into the detective work part of it.
Please, that's why I'm here.
Alright, new function, questioning. Must be this one. Yes, questions. Okay, what do we know about the suspect? Is he or she suspicious? Concentrate on that. Our suspect is a John Doe? Wait, it's our mistress, isn't it? Or wait, is this just an example? Okay, sure. So, right. Okay, we're gonna figure it out. Gather impressions, every impression adds a new question line. Sure. So, new impressions is more questions. Yeah. And detective meter is a best friend. So, yeah, keep it on the positive side. Should be obvious.
I must be cautious and smart. This dame seems shy, which I can use to my advantage. But I must be careful about what I say to her, or I can scare her off. Let's start gently, and when the time comes, we can go in hard.
Hey, Chicka Bum Bum. Okay, let's do this. So, who are you? exactly.
Who exactly are you, ma'am?
I'm not somebody important, Mr. Featherland.
You're important enough to deal with such a delicate matter, right?
I carry out the wishes of my employer, nothing more. This means simple paperwork, most of the time.
You've been thrown into deep water, sweetheart. Tell me, can you even swim?
Believe me, this is just as unpleasant for me as it is for you, if not even more.
Okay. So, we didn't even really get a whole lot out of that. So, she's just mostly a paper pusher. You know, secretary, maid, something like that. Impressions, shy, doubtful. I don't think we can really do anything with the shy part. Doubtful, however, may be something we can lean on. I think that might be a little bit hard, though. If we play off her confidence, it might make her clam up. So let's go with something a bit more innocuous.
Tell me, which part of the city do you live in? Calavera Hills? Flowerville, maybe?
Look, I don't want to answer that. I'm here on behalf of my employer, and not on personal business.
Fair point, Deborah. Let's try a different approach.
Okay, well, I guess the roundabout way didn't work. Okay, so we have two options. Stop playing the Fright and Pray, Sunshine. Yeah, that's not gonna... Well, it might. If she's not combative, it might actually scare her into saying something. We already know why she came to visit, and that's because of the threats. But we don't actually know what the threats are. So yeah, I think we need to cut through the bullshit right now. We're going to try this. We're going to push.
Stop playing the Fright and Pray, Sunshine, and start singing.
But please, I don't like this cocky behavior. Excuse the expression.
Look, maybe it's best if we act like we never met, and you gallop out of here on your pretty long legs before I get rude. I can be rude, believe it or not.
I'm very disappointed in you, Mr. Featherland.
Happens to most people, you know.
Okay, so, obviously I am terrible at this. I think at least. I don't know, did that actually work in our favor? Wait, is the white bar the important part? In that case, no, we are not doing very well. Okay, so why'd you break in? Actually, that's a really good point. I mean, that's an impressive set of skills right there. Are you really that handy with a lockpick?
Tell me, do you break into strangers' homes often?
But please, I've heard you're straightforward and...
Rude?
Yes, exactly. But...
And you're galloping away from the question, ma'am. No offense, of course.
well, what can I say? It's a racial trait. Everybody has to be good at something.
You're right about that.
Okay, so why don't you try getting good at something else? I could ask if she was born and raised in Clawville, but yeah, okay. Why did you come and not your employer herself? If the threats are against your employer, why is your employer not here? That's a good question.
Why did you come to visit me? Why not your employer herself?
My employer is Miss Natasha Katsenko. She hasn't been leaving her home lately, only if she really has to.
How so?
Miss Natasha is afraid. She's scared because of those unwanted messages, and everyone knows who she is.
So she's that kind of woman.
I don't know what you mean.
Of course you do, Deborah. Thank you, by the way. We're finally getting somewhere.
Yes, we are.
We avoided the point long enough. Deborah's hiding something, no question. Let's focus on that.
Okay. So now we have a name. So how did we get the address? We already know how she got the address. I private eye. Well, not a private eye, but well, no, actually. My name is public, and the station will be public. My address should not be. So, I don't know what she's expected. I don't really care what she's expected. Maybe that's my mistake for not caring. She is toying with me. I don't even really need to answer that or ask that. She's being very evasive. So let's cut through the bullshit and just say, what is it you want?
What do you want from me?
Me?
Oh, don't be silly, Deborah. I mean your employer. I was just talking to myself out loud.
Well, Miss Katsenko thinks you're a great detective, and you're also reliable. That's why I came.
Did she also give you the lockpick?
Please, could you let this go? I'm really embarrassed.
Sorry, sweetheart. I'm just teasing you. As soon as I saw you, you were forgiven.
That's very nice of you.
I can be very rude, but I can be nice too. So why don't you help me be the nice bird?
It has nothing to do with being nice, Deborah, but you're welcome.
Okay. Have you ever felt truly vulnerable? Yeah, I'm sure. So don't you think this all at least looks a little suspicious? I mean, you did break in.
Don't you think this whole thing is a little suspicious?
Look, Santino, I'll explain everything.
Oh, thank you.
I have no doubt about that. You look just the type, sweetheart. No offense.
You know, if you use no offense too often, eventually they're going to take offense. Just saying.
I'll take that as a compliment. Or maybe I'll act like I haven't heard it.
You see, we're starting to understand each other.
Alright. So, I don't have any reason not to believe her yet. But, yeah, if you won't tell me what's going on, if you won't explain it, then we're not going to get anywhere.
If you won't come clean, what's the point of all this?
But, Mr. Featherland...
I'm sorry, sweetheart, but I'm way too old for this game.
Please, just think again. For me and my mistress's sake.
Okay, wrong answer then. So, I guess I should ask why I should believe.
Tell me, Deborah, why should I believe you at all?
Because my mistress trusts you.
Should that be enough?
If you really like what she thinks you are, then yes.
Damn, what can I say to that?
Look, I didn't mean to back you up against the wall.
You have a way with words, sweetheart. Did you ever want to be a cop?
No, not for the world.
Smart answer.
That is a very smart answer. Alright, so, come on, tell me something. Tell me anything, otherwise we're not getting anywhere.
Be honest and tell me what you're so afraid of.
You know, Mr. Featherland, my mistress's partner is Hobart Wessler. Or as most people know him...
Ibn Wessler, the Kingpin.
Exactly.
Ooh, new name.
Feathery gods, help me.
So you get it now. The secrecy.
To put it mildly, I think I understand it all. Wessler. This little piece of the puzzle changes everything.
How does it change everything, though? Apparently I know things I don't know. Hey, I'm a decent cop. Okay, so we got there. We got there eventually. I had to ask 10 questions, which I guess is more than I should have. But okay. So... The employer, Natasha's current significant other, the infamous gangster Ibn Wessler. Okay. We're dealing with the gang. So what now?
Why don't you take it to the police? Just go there and file a report. Photos, flashing lights, fingerprints. You know the drill. The evidence is very clear. Even a moderately talented detective could easily wrap this case up. Or just try the phone. 555-111.
That doesn't seem like a phone number.
Please, take a look at this.
Well, okay. Let's see.
Okay, take a look at what? Bag? Inventory! Yes, there's my gun, my badge, my cigarette, and the Tsar Club? Oh, I know Molly very well. Please note this when deciding whether or not to accept my assignment. Miss, can't really read that, as a trusted friend. Treat her as a gentleman. Signed N.
I know Molly very well. Please note this when deciding whether or not to accept my assignment. Miss Ibanez is a trusted friend. Treat her as gentleman. N.
Okay, well, if I knew you were going to read it to me, I wouldn't have had to try and read it myself.
I felt like I'd been hit on the back of my head with a blackjack. Reality tilted. Molly. Good gods. What was her name doing there? I glanced at the opposite wall, with the well-worn picture frames. Like an eternally dark hole in the wall. A missing piece. She was wearing a light silk dress and singing a lullaby. The waves caressing her beautiful long legs. Why Molly? Why now?
Mr. Featherland? Santino, are you all right?
More or less.
What the hell is this supposed to mean?
I don't know anything, Mr. Santino. My mistress told me to give this to you. She said you'd understand. Don't you?
Oh, of course I understand, Miss Ibanez. I get it very well. But this case is becoming more and more confusing. It's starting to look like blackmail.
Blackmail?
Don't play innocent with me.
But
All right. When can I visit?
visit? Me?
Not you. Miss Katsenko.
Oh, yes. You can find her at the Tsar Club.
Didn't you tell me she's not the social kind? That she's especially unsociable? Or does she only like loud and crowded clubs?
That's a good point.
No, she's really not like that. But she owns the place.
Well, of course she does.
Judging by the flyer, it must be a very busy club, especially on New Year's Eve, right?
I'm sure you'll have no trouble finding Miss Katsenko, but there's one small problem, Mr. Featherland.
Let me guess. Mr. Wessler better not know about my visit.
I think that should be obvious.
Exactly. How did you know?
20 years experience, ma'am. Oh, and please, call me Sonny.
It was a pleasure to meet you, Sonny.
I'll talk about the rest with Ms. Katsenko in person. A good friend of mine would be happy to take you home if you'd like.
I'd appreciate that, Sonny.
Okay. New information. Lots of information. Should I even look at this? Oh, the notebook. Detective's best friend. Here you gather vital information about the case, suspects, victims, and locations. How does it work? Click on anything. Okay. Yeah, I suppose I should get really familiar with this because every good detective needs a notebook. People! That's the picture we saw. Lewis? I can't hardly read anything in here. Oh, Lewis C. Hayworth. Rabbit. I like rabbits. Male, old friend of mine, stuttering heavily when he talks. The owner of the once reputable Atlas Hotel, good friend of mine. Okay. At the moment, he's my landlord. It's only the two of us living in this unbelievably enormous hotel. Okay, so that's how we know him. That's how he's a friend. Hobart Ibn Wessler, the rat. Of course. Okay, so lots of stuff going on here. I don't think there's anything left for me to do here. Our friend... I'm bad with names. Lewis, yes. Lewis is going to take her home. And we're off to the Tsar Club, which is... Right, Hotel Atlas, Tsar Club. And I'm guessing that we can just click on here and go? I guess we'll find out. Maybe? One of the most fanciest nightclubs and owners of the juiciest booties and the hardest fists frequent place. And it's famous for not serving cops, except if they're knee-deep in the dirt. Well, of course they are. Okay. So then... How do I leave? Bedroom door?
Behind that door lies the kingdom of dirty clothes, cigarette butts, and empty bottles.
Okay, so we're not going that way anyway. I don't know how to get out of here, but we'll probably figure it out. Is there anything else I can talk to you about?
Thank you again, Mr. Sonny.
Don't mention it, Deborah. I had no other plans for today, except drink. But tell me, do you have a light?
I'm sorry, I don't smoke.
Thought so.
So we have a cigarette without a lighter. We'll have to rectify that at some point. Oh, hey, that's kind of a cheater thing. It highlights everything on the map. You have a point-and-click episode where it shows you everything you point and click on. Okay, so I can't use anything in here. Codex, places, club. How do I go? Nope, that doesn't work. Okay, so, here's what we're gonna do then. Because I don't know how to actually leave here. That's not gonna work. I'll have to figure that out how we do. So, we got our first investigation underway. We did our first interrogation. Or interview? No, it's interrogation. We'll call it that. Sounds much more impressive. And... yeah. Oh! Lights were off the entire time. I'll find a way out of here and figure out how to get to the club. And we'll start there next time. So, we have a case. If you want to see how this case turns out, make sure you hit the subscribe button. Make sure you hit the bell icon here for every video when they come out. If you know somebody else who enjoys the film noir period, or they just like detective mysteries, or just mysteries in general, share this video with them. We've got chickens, cats, rats, bunnies, whatever she is. Gazelle? I don't know. But yeah, we have animals, we have mysteries, we're gonna have fun. So leave a like, leave a comment down below, and I'll see you next time for the next Chicken Police. Until then, take care.